almost quit trading because I was losing money every single month despite doing everything right. I'd have my price action setups, I'd wait for confirmation, and I had good execution as well. I followed the plan, but none of that was enough. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't turn a consistent profit. The market would switch on me and I'd give it all back. I was about to quit for good until I realized that I wasn't actually trading a full strategy. I was just stringing a few setups together and hoping it would work. Price action shows you what the market is doing, but it doesn't show you why. And without the why, you can't tell which setups are real and which ones aren't. And then I found the volume profile, and I realized I was trading blind the whole time. I haven't had a red month since. So, in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how I combine price action with volume profile to finally start profiting consistently. Now, the way we're used to trading is to have a chart open, or a few charts on different time frames and candlesticks, with maybe a few indicators and drawings. Practically all trading strategies and systems are just some variation of this, and price action is the foundation of all of them. But when you break it down, this is what price action actually is. The market, at its most basic form, is just a constant auction between buyers and sellers. So at every single price point and every single second, there is a number of buyers and sellers changing hands. And if the price stays still, it means the pressure from both sides is relatively equal. Now, the way the price moves is when the pressure from one side is stronger than the pressure from the other side. So, let's say we're at this price point, and we suddenly get a massive influx of buying pressure. A large number of buyers come in and overwhelm the sellers. There aren't enough sellers at this price to absorb all the buy orders. The demand for buying is too high, and that means the market will need to move up to the next price point to fill those buy orders. Once those orders are filled, it'll move up to the next point to fill more orders. And this will go on until the demand for buying matches the supply of selling, or that buying and selling pressure equalizes. Now, in that time frame where the buying surged, let's say 5 minutes, the price moved from one price point to a higher price point, and on a candlestick chart, it'll print something like this, a bullish candle. So on a single 5-minute candle, this shows you that buyers overwhelmed sellers for the current time frame. The demand of buying outweighed the supply of selling, and the reverse applies for a bearish candle as well, and this can happen over multiple candles and over multiple time frames. So price action is basically just a visual record of price movement over time. But there's a problem, and this is what holds 99% of traders back. You don't know if those buyers still have fuel to keep pushing higher, if they're running out of steam, or if sellers are about to take over completely. Because you can see visually how the price is currently moving, but you don't know what's happening internally. So you might have two setups that look exactly the same visually, but have completely different internals. You're looking at a set of strong bullish candles, so you might conclude that the buyers are strong and to go long here, since the price will keep breaking higher. But internally, the buyers in those candles may be slowly getting weaker and losing conviction. Sellers may be filling their orders and weakening their demand. This could cause a sudden collapse of buying pressure and drop in the price. And visually, that would print a large bear bar right after this one. And the truth is, you don't know which one it'll be. You don't know whether the next few candles will print bull bars or bear bars or neither, and just move sideways. You can't tell from price action alone, because both of these moves do happen. You can get some moves that are strongly bullish and keep breaking higher, while other moves look strongly bullish but collapse. And they look identical candlestick-wise. It's not like you can take a screwdriver and pop open the hood to see what's going on inside the candlestick, so there's no way to build something consistently profitable off of this alone. Now, what a lot of traders will do, and what I did at first as well, is they add indicators or draw trend lines or a number of other things in an attempt to understand what's going on internally. That would be the only way to get some sort of edge out of the market. The issue with this, however, is that it once again relies on price action. Pretty much every indicator is just taking price action, plugging it into a formula, and spitting something out the other side. So your foundation is already something unreliable, and that makes it just as difficult and unpredictable to trade as price action. We don't really get much clarity here, at least not in a way that will actually help us become consistently profitable. Another thing we can do is look at the actual internals. So we go and look at the actual orders in real time at each price point and track how the market's moving. This is what's known as order flow trading, and this is what I did after moving on from indicators. But as I was looking at the order book, I realized something. It's nearly impossible to read or understand what's going on. You're looking at orders coming in and coming out at lightning speed. It's like looking at price action, but 10 times more complicated and random. Orders here function at an algorithmic level. It's very difficult for the human eye to catch. I mean, even if you do catch a few moves here and there, it's hard to build something consistent off of order flow. And honestly, I can catch a few moves here and there with price action or indicator trading as well. So why would I bother with making it even more complicated just to get the same result? I wanted to trade something that I can understand simply and that I can follow the same way every single day. And that's when I found the volume profile. Now this is how you combine both the volume profile and price action. So you can read the market simply, but also understand what's going on internally, so you don't need to guess. By the way, this is exactly what I teach traders in my mentorship. You'll work with me directly, and we'll build a custom plan around your trading, and you'll have a private one-on-one chat with me so you can get feedback anytime, as well as weekly group calls. If you're interested, click the link down below to apply. So volume profile is what fills the gap between price action and the market's internals, and I'll show you exactly how. Whenever you're looking at a chart, the current price is the price that buyers and sellers agree upon. There is a certain number of buy orders and a certain number of sell orders at that price. And the way the market actually moves is by all of those orders being filled by one side and then moving to the next price point, up or down. So let's look at how this would actually happen. Now, every trader has two main types of orders. They have market orders and limit orders. Market orders are orders that execute immediately at the current market price, whatever that price may be. So if you have market buy orders, as soon as you press the button, they'll get filled at the best possible price. Limit orders sit and wait at a specific price. Now let's say we have 50 sell limit orders at this current price. If I have a limit buy order at the price directly under, then nothing will happen. Neither of our orders will get filled because a limit order sits and waits to get filled. But if I entered the market with 70 market buy orders, then they would immediately fill the 50 sell limit orders, since they're looking for the best price. Now that all the limit orders at this price are empty, the next supply of limit orders will be at the price level above. So those limit orders will also get filled, and that'll be the new market price. That's how the market moves internally. It's powered by market orders. Now here's where volume profile makes this really useful. Because even if you know how all this works, what I showed you here is just a simplified version. Reading the order flow in real time, where there are thousands of orders going off by the second, makes it very hard to understand. But volume profile gives you a track record. As market orders and limit orders keep making their way at the current price, we get more and more volume produced at that price, right? So if we had a volume of 500 at the current price, it'll produce a volume bar on the side of 500. Then at the next price point, if we have a volume of 300, it'll produce a volume bar of 300. And that's what produces the volume profile histogram you see here. It's essentially a track record of the volume traded at each price point. Now this is extremely powerful because we can see all the activity here, and it's showing us that not all price levels are equal. Some prices attract enormous amounts of activity, others get barely touched, and the market behaves very differently at each of those. This is where you get a real glimpse of buyer and seller conviction that you wouldn't have been able to see with flat candlesticks. Now there are many ways to use the volume profile, but we just need to use these two main concepts. The first is the high volume node. These are the large bars on the histogram, areas where a significant amount of trading took place. And think about what that means in terms of orders. A lot of market orders came through here and a lot of limit orders absorbed them. A lot of traders got filled here and have positions at these prices. And when we're talking about multi-trillion-dollar assets like ES futures, that means institutions with billions of dollars. Institutions are the only ones large enough to actually control price movement. So when you see a large amount of volume at a certain price, it means institutions found it important. When price comes back to a high volume node, it doesn't just casually pass through, it'll slow down or consolidate or might bounce off. Because there's real participation sitting there, and that participation pushes back. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the price and see high volume nodes. You'll notice that the price has an attraction to them. Now the second component is low volume nodes. These are the opposite of the high volume nodes, in the sense that they're the short bars and thin areas on the histogram. This means very few market orders came through here, and very few limit orders got filled. So there aren't many traders holding positions there, and there isn't much interest in general. That means that even just a small amount of market orders can sweep through this area very quickly without much resistance. And that's why the price will slow down and chop in certain areas and then explode quickly through others. What you're seeing is the price reacting to the market's terrain. It's like if you're trying to cross through an empty street where there's no one and then crossing a busy street. It will obviously be more difficult and take longer to cross a busy street than crossing through a few empty ones. And that's what's happening internally. So picture it like this. If I showed you someone's path through a city on a blank piece of paper, you'd see a line. And this line would move quickly sometimes and then slow down or stay stuck in certain areas at other times. Now, the reason this guy slows down in certain areas and accelerates in others is because certain areas are empty while others are a lot more crowded. But you wouldn't know this with just the line on the blank paper. It would be very hard to make sense of where he'll slow down and speed up, or where he'll go next. On the other hand, if you had an overhead view of the city with all the traffic, you'd clearly be able to see where the streets are empty and where they're crowded. And that's what the volume profile shows you. Price action is the line, but volume profile is the map. So now let's put it together. Remember what we said earlier about price action. You can see the candles, you can see the direction, but you have no idea what's happening internally. You don't know if the buyers are exhausted or if they still have conviction. You don't know if the next candle is going to continue or collapse. And you'll never be able to know perfectly because there's too much noise and randomness in the market. That's why order flow is also difficult. But think about it this way. From price action, you can read the trend and momentum pretty well, right? You can measure the trend using the highs and lows of the current context. So if we're making higher highs and higher lows, then we're in an uptrend. And vice versa if we're in a downtrend. If we're not making either of those in a clean way, then we're in a range. So in an uptrend, you're looking for longs, and in a downtrend, you're looking for shorts. And in a range, it's actually pretty simple. You just don't trade. If you find yourself in a place where the market is difficult to read or direction is uncertain, then simply don't take the trade. Because what's the point? You're just going to take random wins and losses, stress yourself out for nothing, and get nowhere. It makes trading much harder than it needs to be. Unlike a range which is random and has no clear direction, a trend will have a clear direction by definition. It's more likely to continue trending. Now, the issue with this is that we don't know where to enter and we don't know where to target. If we enter randomly, then we might enter right before a pullback and get stopped out, or might enter right before a reversal. We might also miss our target or hit our target but leave a lot on the table. That's where volume profile comes in. This is the VRVP indicator on TradingView. Once you identify the high volume nodes, you know where the price will slow down and where it's likely headed next. And this is how you'd actually enter a trade. First step is to wait until we're in a trend, of course. Now we're in a clear downtrend because we're making lower highs and lower lows. So we have a heavier demand for sell orders than a supply of buy orders, and we can expect that to continue here. So to know exactly where we should enter and where we should target, we pull up the volume profile. And we see a few distinct high-volume nodes, as well as low-volume areas in between. We know that if the price were to enter this node here and successfully break through it, then it's very likely to continue lower to the next high-volume node. We already have a high demand of sell orders and we're in a downtrend, so if buyers can't hold back the sell orders here, then those orders will likely break through and only slow down or get stopped by the next high-volume node, where there will be enough buyers to soak up the demand. That's how we nail precise moves with price action. That's the missing link. It's just the layer underneath what you were already doing. So price action gives you direction, and volume profile tells you where to enter and exit. And this is quite literally all you need to trade successfully. You need a high risk reward with precise entry points, and you need a high win rate by reading direction accurately. Now, instead of barely getting by, or struggling with price action or with indicators, you trade far more accurately and clearly with volume profile. That's what finally made me consistent. So if you're interested in learning exactly how to trade this consistently and working one-on-one with me, check out the link in the description below. And be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.